Young program brought to you as always by everybody who supports us at payjurydaily.com. Oh, friends. Hey, welcome to yet another recording session of the JuRY Daily Show. So, I know this is weird that I now we do a show about recording another show, but that's definitely what we're going to do. And I'm going to be straight up with you guys. I fucked up the intro by having my gut instincts kick in, and I started recording. So let's see whether or not I still have this. Robert Young program brought to you as always by everybody who supports us at payjurydaily.com. All right, cool. We got it. All right, so let's go ahead and start. I figure it's good to have just a little taste of that, right? This is not take two. No. See, normally this would be take two. I would go back and redo it, but this is not take two. This is the show now. The show is now us doing this together. And so I was initially, I could have started recording and just rolled right into it, but you know, that's fine. See, that's the thing. We're taking a new holistic approach to the program. So let me bring up all my stuff. We're talking about that fucking beauty of a card here in a second. All right. And here we go. Hello and welcome to the Justin Robert Young program. My name is indeed Justin Robert Young. Thank you for joining me yet again on this Tuesday, April 23rd, 2019. A lot going on in my world. I got to get a car after I'm done recording this. I'm going to drive up to Fairfield, I believe, because I'm scrambling. Man, am I scrambling. I told you guys about my global entry situation. I no longer have my global entry. I went 5 blessed years with global entry, and then next thing you know, it vanished. Without me knowing. One day, all of a sudden, my known passenger ID was indeed a mystery to all of the airlines, and I was left in the cold. Well, now I've got a lot coming up, including an international flight, so I got to figure out how I'm going to get global entry back. Over the weekend, I tried to do it. That website is garbage. For whatever reason, it kept rejecting my passport. So now I have to make some moves because I'm out of here in mid-May. We're rapidly coming up on that. And meanwhile, I got flights, coming up. I got a flight to Vegas for Frog Pants weekend. I got a flight to Austin so I can bank some shows so we don't have to worry about shows during when I'm out of the country. We got a lot. So I'm going up to Fairfield so I can do my TSA pre-interview. And then we're going to roll the dice on a thing called Mobile Passport. Mobile Passport. I don't know if any of y'all have heard about Mobile Passport before, but it's theoretically supposed to do the thing that I like most about global entry. But we are not talking about that right now, or at least today. Today we are talking about the glorious nostalgic past. It is Marvel Week. Endgame comes out on Thursday. I'll be there at the Alamo Draft House, cocktail in hand, waiting for the most climactic chapter in Marvel Cinematic Universe history to unspool. But we went back in time yesterday, and I confessed to you guys how I got into Marvel Comics, how I got into the Marvel Universe, and specifically that I was not really much of a comic fan. I didn't have anybody in my life that would buy me comics. I didn't have anybody in my life that would bring me to comic book stores. I didn't really know if somebody handed me a comic book, I wouldn't know what to goddamn do with it. To be honest, you want to know what comic I probably read more of in paper form? And this is some real, like, childhood of an absentee father kind of shit. When my dad would just, like, fuck around and just leave me and my brother just, busy ourselves for hours, every once in a while, when we would go get food at the grocery store, it's like a Winn-Dixie or Publix or something like that, I would get Archie comics. Timely Archie comics. I read more Archie comics in print, in paper, on paper, than I probably did Spider-Man or X-Men, to be honest with you. Now, those I wound up reading more as I got older in various different forms. But in the Target demo, as a youth, I for sure read more about Betty, Veronica, Jughead, and Archie than I did about Cyclops and Wolverine and Jean Grey. I hate everyone, so shut up. Ask me, Betty or Veronica. I mean, considering my wife's blonde, we'll go with Betty. Now, here's what I did get very much into as a youth, and this is what I wanted to talk about. Because I don't know how common this is. I don't know whether or not this was something that a lot of people dealt with or it's just something that I was very passionate about. But I loved comic cards. These were cards put out by, I assume, all the major players, Topps, and the line that I fell in love with, that I completed, was from Skybox. And it was only in doing research for this that I realized exactly what line I completed. And that was Marvel Universe 1993 Phase 4 Skybox. That's what I collected. Marvel 1993 Series 4 Skybox. Now, what you need to understand with this line of cards is that the art was fucking awesome. So they were meant to be collected, and they all went on, one page. So here, I'm going to show our video people here on Twitch and YouTube. If you want to head on over there, you can check it out. But imagine, I'm going to describe for you guys, this is a 9-card set, so perfect for slotting into your little binder, which I still have. There is a Trapper Keeper in either my brother's house or my mom's house that has all these cards that we collected as a kid. But right now, I'm looking at going from left to right, top to bottom. Warlock, Silver Surfer. I can't make out who is there in the top right corner. Galactus is in the middle. Drax, Thanos, Morg. But it's all laid out as one picture. So only when you collected all of them did you get the full image that you were looking for. And there's a Fantastic Four page, an X-Men page, an X Factor page here with X-Force, Deadpool, Cannonball, Slayback, Shatterstar, Apocalypse, Cable, Strife, Mr. Sinister. Oh, God, I just got so much nostalgia looking up all this stuff. I really, really, really loved how the art was done for all this. I almost this is the only time I've ever looked at anything from my youth like this and really just wanted a larger, better version. If they sold uncut sheets of this I would want to buy it. I have no idea where I would put it. But I would be that nerd. Mostly because of this. I still, as a 36-year-old man, feel like I am chasing an adrenaline high. An adrenaline high that I got when I was, I guess, around about 10 or 11 years old. Because it was when I was 10 or 11 years old that every afternoon I'd be picked up by my grandma, R.I.P. Viola Anzalone. She'd pick me up with my Aunt Glo, and we would go from Hollywood Hills Elementary to a shopping center, the Sheridan Street Shopping Center, and we would go to a comic book store there. And every day, she would get both me and my brother one pack of those cards. Every day. We'd get one pack. We'd open that pack. We'd organize it where it needed to be, and we'd move on. I don't know if I have ever been as excited about anything in my life as the day that I saw gleaming in full 3D holographic glory this bad motherfucker. Oh, look at that for everybody. If you're not watching us live and you're just listening, I need you to just go ahead and Google Spider-Man vs. Venom 3D hologram card. This was the pride and joy of that Skybox Series 4 pack. It features a swinging Spider-Man kicking Venom right in the breadbasket while the symbiote villain leans in with both hands outstretched, ready to maul the webhead. When you looked at it in different directions, you can see some depth to the image. Oh my God, was I so intensely excited the second that I got it. In fact, I remember being so excited, I was worried that I was going to crush the card. It sent such shockwaves and adrenaline through my body. Even now, I remember it as if somebody might remember doing cocaine for the first time. I got to find that card. You want to know the first thing I thought of when I saw that card again? I was like, man, I really need to, if I ever got a iced out medallion, like if I were a rapper, if I ever found myself in the market for getting an iced out chain and medallion, what I would do is I would put that 1993 Spider-Man vs. Venom 3D hologram card at the centerpiece of my iced out medallion. It's $300 for an uncut sheet of that 1993. That's on eBay right now. Ooh, and this is all of it, right? This is the entire run here. Hold on. Let's go ahead and show it. You have you just like the old stuff? Any love for the new stuff? New comic cards? That is outside of my purview. Yeah, no, this was really just something that I loved as a kid. To be honest, it's not necessarily that I have any ill will. I honestly didn't know they still made them. So this is on eBay, the uncut sheet. Ooh, that was the other thing that they did. Oh, I fucking forgot. that the second half of the set, so there were 6 universe things. And then the rest of it was... So that was the back. They had all the stats and shit on it. This was what it was. It was all the rivalries. Like Cable versus Deadpool. Punisher versus... Is it Jigsaw? Spider-Man Venom. Spider-Man Carnage. Ooh, Wolverine versus Venom. Oh, shit! I totally forgot. When I was a kid, my dad worked at one of the various places that he worked, had a printing press. And they were able to blow shit up. They blow images up. I had on my wall that Wolverine versus Venom card that my dad got blown up for me so I could, like, hang it on my wall. But I just loved that image. And I don't know if I can... It's this one right here. But it just was so cool because it was Wolverine. Oh, shit. I'm not even showing you guys any of this shit. It's this thing right here. But it was so cool because it was Wolverine, like, slicing through Venom's symbiote. And the symbiote was, like, coming off. Oh, I totally forgot that I had that shit on my wall. That's how much I love this shit. Punisher versus Ghost Rider. I would take all these in pins. If they did fucking limited edition enamel pins. God. Yeah, Hulk versus Leader. Spirits versus Venom. Cable versus Strife. Ghost Rider versus Johnny Blaze. There's Cable versus Deadpool. Naked ass Wolverine versus Omega Red. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, so that was the other half the set. So one of them was all the heroes kind of in their own element, heroes and villains in their own element with like the center. Ooh, that X-Men one was so raw too. That was like some of my favorite X-Men artwork too. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, none of this is in the episode, by the way. You guys just got this fucking unbridled nerdgasm to yourself. But YouTube gets it. YouTube and Twitch gets it. Podcast people don't. Without a follow, without a mention. All right. Alien, what I would do is I would put that 1993 Spider-Man vs. Venom 3D hologram card at the centerpiece of my iced out medallion. All right. Ready? Oh my God! I'm sorry, guys. I would start this news segment with all the professionalism that it deserves, but oh jeez, I just found out that I could buy an entire uncut sheet of all those cards for $300 on eBay. Somebody hit me up with that in the chat. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, let's focus on the future, shall we? Could population growth propel Phoenix and Tucson to merge? Now, this is a very important story for us here on JuRY Daily because two of our favorite people on the planet, TV Zegon and the Gen, have a tremendous rivalry, a regional rivalry. TV Zegon is from Phoenix and the Gen is from Tucson. She is the terror of Tucson. And indeed, she always says fuck Phoenix with a PH. But yet they might be living in the same city in the not-too-distant future. A 2005 prediction for the cities, with downtown separated by 120 miles, didn't seem far-fetched when proclaimed by growth experts during the housing boom. But when the bust started in 2007 and stretched till 2011, the prediction seemed unlikely. But now, Metro Phoenix is on another growth streak. New census data shows that Maricopa County grew faster than any other county in the nation for the second year in a row, and population projections for Metro Phoenix can mean it will all join with Tucson somewhere in the Pinal County within 2 decades, if the numbers are right and the valley's growth engine doesn't stall again. Urban researchers began identifying what they believe would be the supersized metro areas, or megapolitans, 15 years ago, when growth was rampant in the valley and several other parts of the country. The forecast for Arizona was for a swath nicknamed the Arizona Sun Corridor, from Prescott in the north all the way to the Sierra Vista in the Mexican border, to emerge with more than 10 million residents by 2040. That seemed like a lofty goal a decade ago during the recession, but Metro Phoenix, which includes part of Pinal County, has nearly 4.86 million people living currently. Metro Tucson has 1 million residents, and the Prescott area has about 100,000. Maricopa County added 81,000 people between July 2017 and July 2018, up from 74,000 people during the same period last year alone. Although Tucson and Prescott aren't growing as fast, the possibility that Arizona's growth corridor doubling in population does not seem unbelievable. Peace in our time. Hallelujah. Part of Pinal County has nearly 4.86 million people living currently. Metro Tucson has 1 million residents, and the Prescott area has about 100,000. Maricopa County added 81,000 people between July 2017 and July 2018, up from 74,000 people during the same period last year alone. Although Tucson and Prescott aren't growing as fast, the possibility that Arizona's growth corridor doubling in population does not seem unbelievable. Peace in our time. Hallelujah. Let's get into our email. All right. In 3, 2. You can always email our show, jurydaily@gmail.com. Again, jurydaily@gmail.com. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Another J. Martin wrote in, I wanted to contribute to your Marvel week and say that I've never liked comic books. They've never been able to hold my attention. They're too wordy, and the art doesn't do anything for me. I'm a fan of the characters, though, and most of my exposure to comic book characters were through 90s TV cartoons like X-Men. My favorite superhero, though, is Iron Man. No superpowers, just really awesome tech. I can't have superpowers, but one day I can hope to get a super suit. That's why I was excited when Iron Man came out. It was the first superhero movie that didn't adhere to the crappy superhero movie tropes of the movies in the 90s, like the Batman movies did. They made it feel not silly that a guy could build a super suit and fly around and shoot things. I was cold or didn't bother with the next few non-Iron Man MCU movies, The Incredible Hulk, Thor, Captain America, but when I heard The Avengers was coming out, it piqued my interest. Having the films be genre films with superheroes really sold the MCU to me. So tomorrow we are going to talk about the cartoons, and then Thursday we will talk about the MCU. But allow me to say that I agree with both, although, man, did I love and I held out hope for superhero movies. I love the Batman movies, the Schumacher Batman movies. I loved every crappy superhero movie that came out. And then that first Singer X-Men. Well, Blade first was like, oh, superhero movies don't have to be dog shit. And then that first Singer superhero or X-Men movie, I was like, yeah, now we're talking. Adam writes, you struck a deep nostalgic nerve with the mention of those two words, comic cards. I don't know if you'll share this experience, but in my late elementary school days, the early morning cafeteria scene was a high-stakes marketplace where deals were brokered and hearts were broken. Kids were trading gambits for Ghost Riders like they were real estate holdings, arguing over rarity and mint condition. If they were expert speculators, I myself fell victim to a predatory trade that haunts me to this day. A prized Flair 94 Venom Power Blast holofoil for 2, because 2 is better, decidedly less awesome holofoils. Cyclopses! I regretted it instantly, and I live with the bitterness and shame to this day. JuRY, feel free to expound upon this lame and naive trait at length if you want. I will add editorially, no, you've already punished yourself. Can't wait to hear any further musings on the subject. To be honest, I never really traded with anybody because all of this was for me and my brother to build our own collection. We didn't really have a lot of other people that were into it for whatever reason. Our social group was not super down with the comic cards in the same way that we were. So we just were our little archivists building our future history. I did love Bat Nipples. Waffleophagus, does it have to be Marvel cartoons or can it be comic-based cartoons? Well, considering it's Marvel week, we will primarily be using the Marvel cartoons to get into the genre, but I'm sure we will touch on Batman the Animated Series and stuff like that. Okay. I mean, I don't know. I didn't realize I wasn't there for the nipples. I just loved them movies. All right, let's bring it on home. If you would like to email us, it is jurydaily@gmail.com. I want to go ahead and thank our producers, Bill, Dustin, BioCow, Robert H., Brian C., M., Trey the Melodica Man, Adam, Middle-Aged Mike, and Harry Lee Smith. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat is where you can get access to me on Instagram. Wait, Justin Art, I fucked that up. Look at that. Now we're going to go back and redo it. Snapchat is where you can get access to me on Instagram. Snapchat is where you can get access to me. And thank our producers, Bill, Dustin, BioCow, Robert H., Brian C., Adam, Trey the Melodica Man, Adam, Middle-Aged Mike, and Harry Lee Smith. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat is where you can get access to me. Justin R. Young at those platforms. And Adam, Middle-Aged Mike, and Harry Lee Smith. If you want to get access to me on social media, you can do it at Justin R. Young on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. But of course, please go ahead and join our Discord, bit.ly/JuRY Discord, if you would like to submit stories and interact with other folks who are fans of the show. I would like to thank myself. I found this Tucson and Phoenix story that we read. So I'm going to call my own number. Thanks to me. And, of course, if you want to support the show, Pay JuRY Daily is where you go. That is our Patreon. Until tomorrow, friends, this is your old pal Justin Robert Young saying, please give a round of applause to Mr. Wacky. But more importantly, please don't. Fuck that up. Yeah, whatever. We'll see if it plays. Might have to fade that out. If you want to support the show, Pay JuRY Daily is where you go. That is our Patreon. Until tomorrow, friends, this is your old pal Justin Robert Young saying, please give a round of applause to Mr. Wacky. But more importantly, please don't. Fade that out so I don't hear my own music fucking beginning. Perfecto. So what? You guys are fighting about whether or not Transformers was more influential than Batman the Animated Series? I mean, I don't think Transformers was more influential. I mean, Batman the Animated Series is important for different reasons. But Transformers was huge. I mean, Transformers was gigantic. G.I. Joe was more influential than Transformers? Yeah. I mean, I guess you could probably say He-Man. But was He-Man the first? Was it G.I. Joe or He-Man that was the first, like, cartoon that they totally fucking just made from like, so like they had toys and they're like, make a fucking cartoon out of this shit. Was G.I. Joe first or was He-Man first? All of them were just to sell toys, for the record. Transformers was just to sell toys. G.I. Joe was just to sell toys, and fucking... G.I. Joe is based on a movie from the 50s. Well, like the first toy? Because the first toy was a toy, too. And then they did the minifigs, what was minifigures considered with what they were doing before. This is all... Watch The Toys That Made Us. The Toys That Made Us does a great job going into this shit. I mean, again, all this shit was there to sell toys. Like, they had the toy line, and then they did the fucking show. Batman the Enemy. Again, Waffle Waffle, you're fucking arguing a total another thing. Like, I don't think the Batman, like, you need the industry first so you can complicate it. Like, there needs to be forefather. There needs to be, you can't have grunge without hair metal. So whether or not you prefer grunge to hair metal, you have to understand that without hair metal, there's not a reaction in the same way that Batman the Animated Series was like, no, let's do a fucking, like, noir detective, a fairly slow noir detective story instead of the pow zap lasers karate chops standard. But that standard has to be there first. My point is that Batman the Animated Series was a show first, merch second. I mean, only because there was already a machine for merch. Like, it's not because there was like a purity. The purity of Batman the Animated Series. It's like, no, they just already had a merch machine going. Dan Wally, yes, G.I. Joe dolls were started earlier. But there was the change from them doing the bigger dolls to the smaller. Don't make me call fucking... If Paul Mattingly is up right now, don't make me fucking have him just talk to you for 5 hours about toys and toy history. Oh, shit. Open Bayou. He-Man was September 12th, 1983. G.I. Joe was September 5th, 1983. Holy shit. So they were right on top of each other. So you can effectively say that they both have that mantle because we don't know when they first started getting started into animation production and shit like that. All right. Hopefully YouTube enjoyed that. That is it for us today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I will see you tomorrow.